Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 12th. This week you have this Observer card and this Go the Distance card. The Go the Distance card is about, seeing something through all the way to the end, and I feel that it would be a good week for you to really push it and see it all the way through to the end. Also, my top camera here is dead, so I'm waiting on a new one, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you the table in this reading. So you have the Four of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Four of Swords comes up like every single reading during a retrograde. So if you need to rest, relax, recover, heal, do any of those things, it would be a great time for you to take extra rest, extra, recovery time, and really kind of take your time in doing the things that you're doing or that you're working on. You also go from the Four of Swords down to the Three of Pentacles. So this can kind of represent getting other people to help you do things. So, and I forgot to pull your last row. Not having that top camera really messes me up, but let's see here. The Four of Swords, I feel, is saying with that Three of Pentacles that getting other people to help you or getting the assistance of others to do things that maybe are draining or that take up too much time would be a really, really good idea for you. And it might make things just a little bit easier. So, again, of course, asking for help would be a good idea. You have the Seven of Cups, and, the Seven of Cups is a very dreamy energy, and we are kind of in a dreamy time. I mean, we have Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces as well, and so this energy, especially you being a water sign, it can kind of make it just a little bit extra dreamy, or you could have bigger dreams. You even have the Ten of Pentacles next, and the Ten of Pentacles is your ultimate dream, Not only that, at the end, you have this lizard spirit. It says, dream the world into being. So I feel that it could be an amazing time for you to kind of let your dreams go wild, even your daydreams. If you're daydreaming, really get into it and all that other stuff. But the other thing I would say is, write down your ideas. I'm sure you've all heard it, during Mercury retrograde, you should write everything down. So if you have a good idea or something you think is a good idea, write it down so you can revisit it later and not forget it. Especially I'm hearing for work or business. So, again, if you're having any ideas to improve your situation, write those things down. You have this Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles, everybody gets a Ten of Pentacles nowadays, especially you fixed signs. So the fixed signs, we still have Uranus and Taurus, and I think that the Uranus and Taurus energy really pushes people to, build or leave a legacy, which the Ten of Pentacles is all about. But not only that, you go from, sorry, I knew I was going to do it at least once in this reading, but not only that, you go from the Ten of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles to the Judgment card, which would kind of represent you waking up to your purpose so that you can accomplish this. It's like the Ten of Pentacles. I don't think the Ten of Pentacles is something that we just magically get. We have to do something to build this, and it could absolutely be part of your purpose because we have that Judgment card showing up as well. And so you could be working harder, or you could be working towards something that you feel is part of your purpose. And that could be, increasing your wealth, increasing your abundance, whatever it is that you're hoping for here. With the Four of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. You also have the Moon wanting to pop out with that Six of Cups. Very childlike energy coming into these readings as well. The bonus readings that I just did for August had a lot of stuff about, kind of tapping into your inner child or, being more playful. And so I feel that the Six of Cups could say that it would be a great time for you to be more playful or, to be more childlike. The Moon, this could also represent mysteries of the past. And with the Four of Swords, you could be healing some mysteries from the past. It's I'm sure you've all been there, right? When you go through a breakup or something, you start telling yourself a bunch of stories, and these stories might be true, they might not be true, but you don't know. And so I kind of get that feeling here. The good news is that you have the Eight of Cups coming up in your third row, and I feel like the Eight of Cups is kind of saying you're finally, it's you're finally pushing past that point of telling yourself stories. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, time to get to work. Even though it's a Mercury retrograde, again, people love to tell me how you shouldn't start things during retrogrades. I'm sure, that's fine. If you want to allow astrology to control your life, then you better follow all the other rules as well, because if we followed all the rules, we would never do anything. So I always tell people, I think it's BS. I start plenty of things during retrogrades. Sure, I make a lot of mistakes. Sure, sometimes things don't work out, but also at least I'm doing something, right? So I think that, it's a perfect time to get started. And, really, it's not true either that you shouldn't get started on things. You should just double check everything that you do. And not only that, it's a great time for planning. So again, even if you don't want to fully get started on a project, business, or an idea, you can at least start planning out the idea, or, start organizing the idea. The retrograde energy is really good for doing that, and it makes it better. So you might as well start somewhere. And it's like, maybe you need an outline for your business, or, maybe you want to come up with some steps that you can complete, in your business, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like this is saying, it's a good time to do that. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Magician. Yes, very dreamy energy. And the Magician is all about kind of imagining and dreaming and using your powers of manifestation, which could have to do with visualizing what you want. And so I think it would be a great time for you to practice, visualization, manifestation, all that other stuff right now. So in a very dreamy reading with all these dream cards. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you at this time, you have this cassowary. It says resolute warrior spirit and defense. You have this bull. It says masculinity, objectivity, and leadership. So you could be taking the lead on something that you are very sure of. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. Both animals are very defensive. And I don't think you're being defensive, but you could be protecting an idea that you have, or you could be protecting some sort of new beginning that you're hoping for. Your first card in this row is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands would be a passionate new beginning or a fresh start coming in for you. And like I said, you could just be, I kind of just feel like you are protecting this. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. And you could be very focused on something that is new, and you could be focused on protecting it. The Ace of Wands I look at as just a spark, right? But we're trying to build a fire. And, obviously if you just have a spark, you're going to have to, and if you light something on fire, then you're going to have to protect that fire, because when a fire first starts, it's kind of like very, the wind blows and it could go out, right? So I feel like that's what this is saying, is that you're kind of like building this fire in your life. And I feel like you're slowly putting, little pieces of wood on it to get it, built up into a big fire. But it's like you are protecting it from external forces. Maybe that's a better way to put it. And so I feel like that's what you're doing. You have the Three of Pentacles. Again, teamwork would be a good idea as well. I get tons of comments every time I say that you need to protect your ideas. People say, how can you protect your ideas and work on a team? It's like, well, obviously, life isn't black and white. It's like, obviously, we have to do things, or we have to get people to help us. So it's like, yes, there are certain people that you're going to have to tell what your idea is, especially if you need help or if you need to get help. But, that's just part of life. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this. But yes, the two things can be true at the same time. You can protect an idea, and you can also get people to help you out at the same time. But as long as you're taking the lead, that card said leadership, you end up as the Emperor here. So as long as you're being a good leader, there is nothing to really worry about. He's even taking the lead. He's standing on this bench above these two people. So it's like clear to me that you are building something that could get a lot of attention. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work, and it says whatever you're working towards or building could get you a lot of attention. But the Three of Pentacles, like I said, says teamwork makes the dream work. But there's also this water triangle right here. This is a fire triangle. The water triangle kind of represents him injecting a little bit of his dream into whatever he's creating, right? So the water triangle says he kind of went above and beyond. He injected a little bit of his creativity into what he's been building. And again, the whole entire reading, there's a bunch of cards about dreaming here. So again, if you're working on something, but you can add a little extra razzle dazzle to whatever you're building, then I would definitely do it, because Three of Pentacles says if you do it, you will get rewards. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands can be marriage. Not really a love reading. I mean, that could change, but Four of Wands is really a card of freedom. and setting yourself free. And we are definitely in a time of freedom. I think we are in a time where people are noticing the restrictions. And so, you might be saying, again, you say we're in a time of freedom, but I'm restricted. I'm like, exactly, yes. It's like, how do you think you're going to get free? It's like we have to be very restricted first before we can be set free from something and, make the changes in the first place. So, again, I feel like the Four of Wands here is really just kind of saying that you could be setting yourself free from something that has been very restrictive to you. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Empress, yes. So you have everything you need to make something very successful. Empress, all she has to do is wave that scepter in front of her, and the wheat that's in front of her here will grow. So she doesn't have to necessarily work hard to get something to grow. And I feel like that's going to be important for you here, Scorpio. It's not that you won't be working hard, but it's like there's hard work and just banging your head against the wall, and then there's efficient work where you're still working hard, but you're getting results that kind of balance it out, right? And I feel like the Empress is saying, make sure that the work that you're doing isn't just hard work, isn't just doing something to be complicated. Make sure you're doing the things that are efficient so you get equal or better results, which she definitely would do. You also have the Emperor and the Empress here, so there could be an Emperor and Empress coming in for you. Cancer had the Emperor and Empress as well, so and you have Cancer at the end of your reading, so it could be a Cancer, it could be any sign, general reading. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands, two totally different cards. Three of Pentacles is teamwork, Five of Wands is competition. So I feel that you have a choice. You can either take part in a competition or you can make the competition work for you, right? And some of you might have to think about that, what I just said, and you might have to come up with a way to get the competition to work with you or for you or, not against you. This could also, I look at the Five of Wands as also learning from your competition, so it could be an amazing time for learning from the competition. I believe we're in a time of co-creation, and as I say, look, I work together. I now have a bunch of people that I work with on this channel. You all see it, right? I work with Bonnie. I work on LOL, the podcast, right? So it's like, I do all of these things because the energy exists, and I want to take advantage of it. So I think it's an amazing time for collaborative work or working together with other people. With the Four of Wands, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, Nine of Wands definitely says don't give up. Again, if you've been trying to set yourself free from something that's restrictive, and it could be anything, then I really feel this is saying keep pushing. You're about to set yourself free. I really don't feel like the Four of Wands in your reading is saying marriage. I feel it's talking about freedom, because also you go from the Four of Wands to the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups would be walking away from something that no longer serves you. And again, I feel a lot of you are just kind of setting yourself free here. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this exploring card. It says you're exploring different potential paths to success. It says career exploration can provide you with clarity on what matches you. You have the celebration card. It says there will be a celebration in regards to your work. So the Four of Wands, the people are celebrating on the other side of the Four of Wands. And you could be definitely discovering new ways of working with the Eight of Cups. You're walking away from, doing things one way that isn't working, and you're walking probably towards your true purpose here. The Judgment card is about kind of your purpose and waking up to your purpose or having an awakening to what your purpose in life is. These people are standing in these coffins, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life, and they need to step out of the coffin. They need to step into their new life so that they can experience something better or greater or different. But they have to leave the coffin. So, again, the Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, this would definitely really represent you kind of completely leaving something in the past. As far as I'm concerned, that's what the astrology right now is saying. That basically every single person on earth could be walking away from one thing and going towards another. It's just the time that we're in. And in this diagonal, sorry, I like I said, I knew I was going to do that again. You have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Chariot. And so the Ace of Wands is that, moving, the castle in the background is crumbling. It's out with the old, in with the new. Eight of Cups walking away. Chariot as your last card, he's leaving the city behind him and he's hoping to have a victory. So again, if you're thinking about leaving something behind, I think this is saying yes. You have the Hangman. The Hangman says that what you're thinking about walking away from is probably something that you've been thinking about for a long time. So The Hangman has put himself in Hangman mode, and he's done this so that he can gain enlightenment. And so I feel a lot of you have maybe been thinking about, doing something, or, making a change, or leaving a job, or leaving a position, or leaving something that has been restrictive in your life. And you're just ready to move forward, is what I feel like that's saying. With the Judgment card, you have the Four of Wands again, which is crazy. So you have the Empress, the Four of Wands, and the Emperor now. So that part of the reading could definitely be marriage. Like, you could be waking up to a person. If you've been with a person that you're not married to yet, you could be kind of like feeling more attracted to the person, or you could be really feeling like you want to marry the person, right? If you're not with a person, I feel like the Judgment card is saying you're about to know who this person is. So get out there, get out in public, and, put yourself out there. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. Again, this could be love. So you could be finding a very loving, strong connection, a connection that really overflows and fulfills you. If you don't want love, and even if you do, I also feel this could be talking about a new beginning because of that Ace of Wands. The Ace of Cups says that, if we're talking about this in the positive, it would say that you're doing something that causes your emotions to overflow. You're doing the things that cause your energy to overflow as well. And as long as you keep doing those things, you are going to overflow. So I would keep doing things you want. With the Hangman, you have the Queen of Pentacles here. I thought there were more Pentacles. I mean, you have the Knight of Pentacles, but I thought there was more stuff coming up, but I guess not. But anyway, the Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness and gathering your resources, increasing your resources, making more money, being more successful. So I feel like there is a lot of success coming in for you with the Queen of Pentacles. I also feel like there's just like a lot of abundance coming in. This is probably based off of that like little bit extra work that you're doing with that Three of Pentacles. So I think that now would be a good time to go above and beyond, especially if you're working on a project or a business. I think now would be a good time to over deliver as well. I would be careful of over delivering. I'm a big fan of over delivering and giving a lot of value, but what I have learned over time is that if you over deliver too much, you actually overwhelm whoever. Like, if you're working with a client, for example, or if you do over client work, if you over deliver, it's like you're giving them too much. I think specific results are better, but again, this reading is kind of saying a little bit of over delivering might not be a bad idea, if you're working on a project, a business, or something for a client or whatever you're doing. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Dream the World into Being card. You also have this Brown Bear. It says take time out. So like we said at the beginning of the reading, I think it's an amazing time to rest, relax, recover, heal, do all the things necessary to take care of yourself. I also feel that you literally could dream the world into being right now. So if you're having any dreams, or if you have big dreams, I should say, I feel like that the Emperor is saying it's time to take action on those things. And you have this Exploring card as well. So instead of taking something like super seriously, right, and it is a Mercury retrograde. I start things during retrogrades all the time. As I said, I think it's perfectly fine. But also, I think that there is another approach here that would be like more retrograde safe, right? Which would be tiny little investment of your time, try something just a little bit, see if it works, see if it doesn't work, and then go from there, right? But at least you're taking action on the thing that you said you were going to take action on. So, again, I think a tiny little investment of effort or energy or whatever would be a good idea. You could also be attracting an Emperor. You have the King of Wands, could literally be a fire sign. It could also just be a fiery person. I do kind of feel like this person is a little bit spicy, so I don't know. Maybe this person's like a hard worker, or maybe they're just kind of like. I feel like I said this to you last week as well. I feel major deja vu as I do this. Like, this person, they could be like high energy, or they could just be very busy or something. I feel like they got a lot going on. So if you're looking for love, it could be an Emperor, King of Wands type of person, like a real boss type of energy. It doesn't have to be a fire sign, but it definitely could be. I also feel like this could be you. You could be the one that's being more spicy. You could be the one that is really getting to work and making things happen. And the Chariot, your last card here, really kind of says that as well. The Chariot is about really taking control of your situation. Chariot is a card of willpower. And didn't this card say willpower, or am I making that up? I'm making that up, so never mind. But, again, I think that you have a lot of willpower at this time, and you should be harnessing that willpower to be successful. The Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. So if you have a dream, then I would actually change that to say where there's a dream, there's a way. whatever your dream is, it's possible with the chariot. The secret of the chariot is just to be in alignment with what you want. You know, he has these stars here, these moons on his shoulders. They represent as above, so below. But to get into alignment, we have to do things like adopt the habits of, you know, if there's a person that's more successful than you doing something you want, adopt the habits, right? Or learn the habits of successful people who are successful of what doing what you want to do. And if you do that, then you will become that thing. And doing that will put you into alignment. I think, you know, that's the easiest way to get into alignment. There's a lot of other ways, but, you know, that's just one. With the Emperor, you have the Temperance card. You know, I kind of feel like you're experiencing a turnaround with this. This actually feels really good. I feel like you could be creating improvements, or, you know, the Temperance card is about alchemy, turning your situation around, or turning a situation around. And that's kind of what I feel there. I feel like you're turning your situation around. With the King of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, Six of Pentacles and the good stuff would say this person does not breadcrumb you. You know, this would say that this person really kind of invests in their connections. So if you're attracting a new connection, this looks amazing. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Wands. What are you waiting for? You know, Three of Wands says you could easily expand towards your dream, and it's coming up in the good stuff, so that would kind of say that you are expanding towards your dream, or you are doing the things necessary to make your dream happen. But I think this reading, the whole entire reading, is pretty much talking about your dream. You have this Enthusiasm card. Yeah, really, we are in a time of enthusiasm, so I think that, you know, there is like two worlds right now. One is the logical world where you go to school, you get a degree, you get a career, you pay your bills, and then you die when you try to retire, right? But there's a new world that's much more exciting, that is full of enthusiasm, excitement, love, your heart-based actions. But I think the scary thing for everyone right now is taking those heart-based actions. It's like, you know, obviously if you want to you know, if you're like a doctor, but really your heart is telling you to open a jump roping school, it's like everybody's going to call you an idiot, right? But you never know. I guarantee you there's a person on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok who probably makes like $1 million jump roping. So you never know, right? And you just have to put your thinking cap on. But we all have to, you know, we're all being asked to face that fear right now. I truly believe this. This is why I talk about it all the time. And yeah, I think that's what people need to do. You have this Harmony card, so I think you are bringing more. It is a very peaceful reading. I feel like you are going to be experiencing more peace. You have this Flattery card. Yeah, I feel like there could be a new person that you're flirting with. I feel like this person's much more aligned to you as well. These two faces are facing apart. These two faces are facing towards each other, so I think you're attracting someone where it's like you're much more similar, like not the same, but I think you kind of see eye to eye. You have this Discovery card. You have that Exploring card as well. So if you're thinking about going on any adventures or traveling or having fun, then I would definitely do it. And finally, you have this Revenge card. I really like this card. Has been coming up a lot, and I think that it could be past people or whatever. I would just ignore it. I don't think anything's going to happen. And if someone does try something, ignore it, right? It's probably the best thing to do. But this looks really good here, Scorpio. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.